Hello, welcome to Drunk, A Song of Ice and Fire. After Thrones, The Hangover. This is the big episode, you guys. This is the one. This is episode 7, the season finale. I am Chloe at Lies and Arbor on Twitter, and I am joined, of course, with the lovely, the Bear Air and ASOIAF Puns. Say hello, you two.
Hey, guys.
Don't tell me what to do, but hello.
Okay. And tonight we have a special guest on, Amy, one of my very best friends, Disown the Throne on Twitter. If you've seen her, she's my favorite book purist in the entire world. She is the main person on D&D Googling. If you follow that Twitter account, it's very funny. It's a satirical-ish account. It's pretty realistic. I also co-run it now with her, so that's been fun. Amy, say hello.
Hello, and you honor me, thank you.
I didn't know how smart and brilliant and beautiful she is, because she's going to showcase
Okay, now
that.
I'm gonna vomit.
I'm sorry. Anyways, so holy shit, you guys, what an episode. I am whelmed.
Every fucking episode you're whelmed.
I'd say compared
Well,
to this...
have you watched this show ever? Sorry.
I would say compared to this whole season, this was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah.
More than I was expecting, probably.
There's a lot of top-notch acting done by so many people. Whole fucking episode, like, I can't preach enough for how well it was done.
If Lena doesn't get an Emmy or whatever award exists this season, then I don't know, man. I'm sorry, but that was top notch. You're right on that. There was some acting in this episode. Like, there are some scenes to come that, like, I will tell you, I stood up and gave a standing ovation to the screen, and my roommate and my friend both looked at me like I was nuts. This, and I literally stood up and clapped, like, for about a good 12 seconds. So.
Yo, Lena absolutely deserves some kind of award for what she's done on the show. Like, even when I don't think the writing is good, her scenes just absolutely sell it every single time. In this episode, especially, like, that when she was talking to Tyrion, and she was pretty much close to tears, talking about her kids and stuff.
Yeah,
like, just
beautiful.
That was just amazing.
spitting fire in her dialogue.
The scene,
So poignant.
Lena and Peter definitely, like, played off each other so hard in that episode, like, or in that scene especially. And the part where he's just like, go on then, kill me. I've killed so many people in our family, we've lost everyone, just do it.
That's a small golden statue.
Yeah.
Moment.
Why do you guys think she didn't?
Too easy.
No one knows.
What?
Too easy.
Pregnancy hormones?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe in the end, she actually did love Tyrion.
No, she didn't.
As she twists his
I'm gonna mute this
baby
for a second.
penis
Second.
off.
Yeah.
So, what are y'all drinking tonight?
I had some sake. It
Oh, is that what you were drinking?
was left over from a party. But,
Tanner's.
yeah. Don't tell him.
Well, if he listens to this, he's gonna know now.
I'll buy him some more. But, and right now I'm sharing in this Cindergeist.
Cidergeist.
Oh,
Cider
is that
guys.
the cider?
Yeah.
Yes.
In a Lannister cup.
So Cidergeist, it's actually produced by a brewery in Cincinnati, Ohio. Very fond of it. It's called Rheingeist. And all the names of the drinks are named differently. Instead of like, oh, this is the pale ale, it's like, this one is the truth. If you can't drink it, you can't handle the truth.
Oh, I like it.
But the one we're drinking is Rheingeist, Cidergeist, and it is called Bubbles. And I am really, really fond of the symbol for it, because it's an apple with a skull.
I'm into that. Oh, so like Fossaway Lawn Mouth.
Yes.
Oh.
Mayhaps.
Red apple.
Mayhaps. Amy, what did you drink tonight? Did you drink tonight?
I had some red wine. It's called Once Upon a Vine. It's my personal go-to.
Okay, I'm into that. I like the name. Clever. It's a witticism. You quipped it. I like it.
It's fun. I'm a fan.
You kind of embraced your Cersei this evening.
Yes, as I always do.
I feel like that's the ultimate way to watch Game of Thrones, is to embrace your Cersei for yourself and Dorne.
Just throw myself in my cups and just get super hateful.
I'm always in my cups. I'm always hateful.
Chloe, what did you drink?
I have been mixing for an hour and a half or so now. Would you like to know where I started?
Sure.
Tell us your journey.
This will be a journey.
Alright, so we started the evening about half an hour before Thrones with some whiskey and Coke and a mug of coffee with some horchata as creamer.
Oh,
horchata liqueur. Yeah, actually the stuff I bought when I was last down with y'all.
Well, that lasted a while.
Time and a half. Yeah, exact time. Like that kind of, yeah. It's right after that. And then I moved on again.
When we did the Divine Seduction deal.
I moved on to vodka and lemonade and champagne mixed together.
Nice.
I feel like that would taste really good.
Oh, it's very bubbly and light. I'm trying to not think about the existential dread of everything we just watched.
Bring it to DragonCon and it'll make it that much better.
Big ass grin on your face as you say it. That is actually pretty impressive that you've just gone on this long drinking journey throughout the day.
I feel like Drunk ASOIAF has been my baby this summer. There's so much that we're going to do. This week is DragonCon.
Whoop, whoop.
Kevin and Elena both will be there with me. Yeah. We're going to do some Drunk ASOIAF stuff at DragonCon, too. So I'm excited. And after this, we do have some plans. I will mention them at the end of the episode for some other crap going on in between the seasons, because as we know, off-season for Game of Thrones sucks. Like, as much as we wish the book was here and it's not here yet, we have to deal with the show. And then as much as we, are okay with the show or convince ourselves it's somewhat okay as we watch it, Kevin, I'm looking at you. As much as we have that, once the show goes off season, it's dead for a while, it's just kind of lonely.
2 years.
Fire and blood.
Yeah, we're gonna we'll get some more wild cards.
I'll take it. I'll take wild cards. I'll take anything. I'm a fucking addict.
So are you saying the show keeps the books relevant?
No, I'm saying that the show keeps the people that are fans of an amazing, epic fantasy saga that is nuanced and complex and very beautiful in every way, shape, and form. That show exists because of those books, and we should respect the books, but once in a while you have to get drunk and try to appreciate the show. So...
You know what? I think that's just the mission statement of this show here.
I was gonna say, that's how our show was born.
Amidst salt and salt.
That just reminds me of last year, Chloe, you're like, I add so much more spice to your life, Elena. You know you love me. I'm like, I don't need any more salt in my life, but thank you.
Hey, I'm all the spice you need.
As I said, I don't need no more salt.
Elaine stoned. So, an episode. Capitalization relevant. Throwing things. So, that was weird. The whole first, couple scenes were very slow to me.
Yeah, everything to do with the dragon pit.
Let's just pull this as long as we can to have all the fan service of these characters being near each other for 80 minutes. That was time.
I just feel like the episodes that have run long this season didn't need to run long. They could have afforded to cut a couple of scenes. Yep. And they would have been fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. The cat was attacking Kevin.
I think it's interesting that we opened on, Grey Worm, who's been ignored for a couple episodes, and, so they're showing Grey Worm, and they're showing the siege, and they're showing, how, everyone's showing up. They're showing all the Dothraki showing up, yeah, we're going to King's Landing, and it was just, confusing, why would you choose that? We're showing Grey Worm still alive relevantly for a moment. It was just a confusing opening, I feel like, for what they were trying to show. For someone that, what happened, I was like, this isn't, what's going on?
I was so confused in the beginning, because I thought they were still at Casterly Rock. And I was
Yes.
like, oh, what happened? Like, why are they suddenly on the outside of Castle Rock? Why is Jaime there? And it turns out they were at King's Landing. I was like, well, what happened with the Greyjoys showing up with their fleet?
Guess they
I
walked.
was just really confused. I was, like, the first 5 or 10 minutes of the episode, I just didn't know where we were
But the
or what was
Tyrion, you
happening or how
motherfucker.
they got there.
That's me. I feel
And
that.
Go.
still not entirely sure, although
This
I
is my
do
chair
know
bit
now
from
they're not at
John.
Castle Rock.
Yeah, I learned that, believe it or not, through the episode.
I learned a thing, yeah.
There was, again, suspension of disbelief.
Hey! If a raven can get from Eastwatch down to a Dragonstone and a dragon back to Eastwatch in the amount of time it takes a bunch of people with not that much food to like not freeze and starve to death,
Literally a night.
I feel like Grey Worm, in the amount of episodes he's not been shown, could probably march his way to King's Landing. And
Oh, no.
But, again, a certain suspension of disbelief, like, for example, the amount of time it takes for that raven that you were just talking about to get there and back and to Eastwatch and Daenerys comes to their dragons, they were still
The
walking
cat
down
tail
the
was just
King's
sticking
Road to
straight
get
up
to King's
everywhere, and he
Landing.
was not happy.
That's true. I didn't really have so much an issue with the timeline, just like, what have they been doing all this time, and how did that get... How did that wrap up with the whole Casterly Rock thing where the Greyjoy fleet clearly showed up to kind of bamboozle them, and then
There was
nothing
no
happened?
bamboozling.
No shenanigans went down.
No
Just let 'em
bamboozling by
go.
anyone.
It
To
just...
be-
It was like a loaded, like, gun, like you were waiting for Grey Worm at Casterly Rock and Casterly Rock to, like, fall or whatever, like, some sort of official stance of what actually happened with Casterly
Yeah.
Rock, but now Grey Worm is in King's Landing and the Dothraki showed up and they just, like, ran around in a circle around the Lannisters and Jaime stood there all, and Bronn was all, we're gonna die, and then, like, they went to the Dragon Pit, slowly.
let me be a show apologist for a moment.
As you
and
are.
say this. Grey Worm wasn't going to hold Casterly Rock with no supplies in it. He wouldn't be able to. The Lannister army wasn't there besieging them. The Lannister army went off to conquer Highgarden and then got wrecked by Daenerys' dragons and the Dothraki. The Dothraki were already near King's Landing. Grey Worm's been marching ever since the Lannisters left.
He does have a point.
Okay, so,
My question is, the Greyjoys showed up.
Yeah, but they also
like,
were back in King's Landing for the this King's Moot here, or whatever the hell we call this meeting.
Yeah,
That's
so, like, why didn't they wreck the Unsullied? They were there wrecking their ships, I thought, last we saw. That's just my confusion. That's where that's coming from.
I don't think the Greyjoys really have enough troops to do that. I mean, the Unsullied have like 8,000 there at least, and the Iron Islands aren't really that populated.
my question is more like, that's fine, what you said about, like, obviously they weren't going to hold Casterly Rock, whatever, that's fine. But, like, so what happened? Can you tell me what happened there?
They marched to King's Landing and besieged it.
Okay, but when did you learn that?
This episode.
Oh, that's good.
I guess
someone got to learn that.
It's been a question and now it's answered, and I feel like the show's done that before.
They didn't, that wasn't...
The Battle of Whispering Woods, for example.
So, open up, and we see Grey Worm, and he has his little dragon pin on, to tell you that he's still supporting Daenerys, and he's somehow in King's Landing, even though you were confused because you thought he was in Casterly Rock because there was lions everywhere. Whatever. Anyways, so, we move forward. We get, like, a Lena moment. We had a Lena Headey moment, right? Right there, after that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, just on like a side note, I do want to point out of course, the lovely soundtrack that was provided by us by Ramin. As per usual, he is the gift from the gods himself.
Music was pretty good.
He, like, the way he took, I know you said it was like, it was a very drug out scene, but he did that musically, and it was just building suspense. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of his and just soundtracks in general. Like, I'll sit here and I'll sit down and watch and listen to his whole soundtrack of a random movie because I like the guy who composed it. And I thought...
No, he's incredible.
He is. And I thought this scene really, he did amazingly well because, as I said, he drug it out. He made you, like, feel a little uncomfortable and a little, like, you know something's about to happen. Very well done. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
No, ramen is one of the best, like, things of the whole show. Like, that is the reason I watch the show, honestly, anymore. his music. I don't know. Did you guys listen to the soundtrack before this episode? Like, cause they 2 days ago it released. You know.
Mm.
I did not.
Oh no.
I was listening to it hardcore at work. I was jamming to it. My favorite was something we'll talk about obviously later. The line that it was the no one walks away from me. We'll talk about that later. But I listened to the whole soundtrack at work Friday and Thursday twice, and man, I was moved. Like, I was in tears a little. My ovaries throbbed. Good job, Rob.
Oh my god. He's like the Rhaegar of Game of Thrones.
He was playing me
On his high harp.
Bitch. I was into it.
Hey, it's not Wonderwall. It's Summerhall.
It's Summerhall.
Summerhall.
Sorry. Okay,
Anyway,
here's Summerhall.
All right,
Yeah,
so
that
Cersei.
scene, like, so the whole, like, then it's all, like, to the King's Road. And then it's all, like, everyone's walking down the King's Road for, like, 80 years, and there's all this small talk, and I don't know how much I even paid attention to. I don't know what character development they just shoved in this 80-something minute episode they could have put anywhere else in the last 3 seasons.
But then it wouldn't be dramatic and shocking.
What she said.
You know what shocked me? Is the amount of character development we had in this episode.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's one of the best dialogue we've had in seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this is the problem. The last 2 seasons, 6 and 7, the last episode, have all of a sudden been amazing. It's like, all of a sudden, they're like, alright, it's the finale, we gotta try. We gotta...
Yeah.
Nerds, these nerds are expecting us to keep them for another season, so we have to do something that they're gonna fucking like. Shit.
It's like Harry Potter falling asleep before the Triwizard Tournament and then, like, getting up at the last minute and being like, I need something great. I'm gonna be a loser in front of everyone. And then he gets gillyweed and it's great. It's a bad analogy and I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Whenever I think about gillyweed, I think about Gilly.
Yeah.
Favorite. Anyways.
Good point.
I got a point about that later.
Show Gilly and Book and Show Gilly have done nothing wrong ever in their entire lives, and they are doing amazing. So,
I might say she's the best adapted book character.
She gets so much more, I don't know, agency in the show than in the book in a way. Like, but at the same time, it does bug me because she also gets like not fetishized for dumbness, but it's like she's the wildling bitch that Sam has banged, and she doesn't know anything ever.
She's
like,
dumb,
she's like,
do you get it?
She's like the wildling hick J-Law.
Wow.
Like, I'm gonna fall over on stage in front of all the other wildlings. I don't know, like, I just...
I'm so quirky.
Yeah, exactly, like Westerosi Manic Pixie Dream Wildling. I don't
I was gonna say, if we're talking like that, then she would definitely be, oh my god, what's her name?
Zoe Deschanel?
Yes.
Wilder?
Zoe Deschanel.
Hey, wait! Instead of 500 days of summer, 500 days of winter.
Westerosi
Gross.
winters are far longer
Her
than
baby
that.
would still be a baby.
Yeah.
So how old is that kid now? Is he like 27? What did he get?
He's gotta be pushing 30 by now.
Dude, he's probably getting a little receding hairline. Like right around here, it's just starting to creep up.
You know, he has
Maybe
grandkids
Silver
now,
Fox.
right?
I'm sure someone
Like
somewhere
his hair?
has said how long it's been since season 2 when that character was born. I'm sure someone in this season has said something.
That's like, not to jump ahead for a second, but there was a line when when Baelish told Sansa, I've known you since you were a girl, and I'm like, what, last year? Like,
Yeah, really
what does
though,
that
in the book,
mean?
yeah.
is she suddenly like a matron? Like what? Just because you married her off and she fucked a couple people non-canonically, like suddenly she's a matron? Like what the fuck? Like I've known you since you were a girl. What the fuck? What is wrong with these people?
You should have been like, bitch, you don't know me. You
Maybe-
never have.
Maybe he's in league with the White Walkers.
Why does this?
Hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's go back to let's we'll get to
So
that scene in good
anyways,
time.
Did you guys know that John is Ned Stark's son? How many times did they say that? Yeah. They really had to cement that one for you so that it would be super shocking. In case you didn't see the infographic, the people who did not see the infographic were super shocked, I'm sure.
There's a lot of people calling Ned dad who weren't his sons.
That's true.
My biggest problem was last episode when they like pulled that contrivance of like, you must favor your mother. No, because his mother looks like his father. He favors his bloodline, which happens to be half Stark. Like, the long faces and the gray eyes and the sadness and somberness, like
that's all Stark.
They all have the same face, so like it's like
cold and miserable.
Galaxy brain.
Sounds
why?
like
Yeah, didn't they say that John like doesn't look like Ned last episode when Arya and John are like the only ones that do look like Ned or supposed to?
Mm-hmm. But whatever. That's a consistency problem. That's fine.
It's cool. It's fine.
No. I was gonna say my favorite scene where they were pushing it down our throats that John's not a Stark was episode 2 or 3. I can't remember which one. When John goes to meet Daenerys, and he's walking up Dragonstone. And he's like, I am no Stark, and then a fucking dragon flies overhead.
People who go back and rewatch the show and they don't, they weren't aware of this stuff before, they're gonna think that is so deep, you guys.
Right.
It's gonna be super deep.
I'm glad we don't do video versions of this, because that dragon I just did was really good.
It was great.
I would run everyone off the YouTubes if they saw that, because that was like, it was good.
So, Dragon Pit scene.
Dragons.
All the diplomacy going on. Let's talk about that.
So, we didn't even get up the King's Road. You're missing the brainy reunion of a century.
Okay.
No, that doesn't
Continue.
happen until later, right? The fuck loyalty thing isn't until later.
No, but I mean, like, they see each other and they look at each other.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
Oh, yeah.
I need to definitely talk about a scene. I'm sorry. When Sandor and Brienne are talking, and she was saying, well, I was just trying to save her, or I was just trying to protect her, and he's like, so was I. I'm like, ah!
He's
You know
all
what? I actually
fatherly and
liked
shit.
that scene a bit. Like,
I honestly did.
I just like project the book characters on them a lot too, and I just love the actors for them. So not a whole lot I can complain about there, and that they both really care about the Stark girls, even though they only bring up one at a time, and it makes me sad.
Same.
Why don't you bring up both of them?
Look, I loved it because I love that Sandor was like, yes, Arya, my not daughter. I love her too. But it's really fun. Too bad she doesn't have a sister that I've ever talked to in my whole entire life. It's been a race
Right?
stuff. It's too bad there's no connection or character
Who
development.
inspired me to go help that sister in the first place?
Wow, it's really too bad that Sandor Clegane has never met Sansa Stark in this show. I feel like it's really just a bummer. It's almost, who? Exactly. It's really too bad that one person's character growth and development depended on the other person. Actually, both. Both depended on the other person. Go ahead.
I feel you. You guys, I feel bad for you guys because you're sandwiched between us tonight, but yeah, that I like that scene, but nothing makes me more frustrated than there being so many openings for them to acknowledge each other's existence, and they never fucking do in this show.
Like, okay.
To be fair,
They're doing it to fuck with me at this point. Like, it's on a personal level, and they are fucking with me. That's what's happening.
Okay.
Here's the problem.
Excuse me.
I feel attacked.
Exactly. So the biggest problem for me about this is, and we've talked about my gross Sansan problem. I get it.
You have
I'm
a
not
problem.
Normal. That's fine. It's okay to like a canon ship. Daenerys gets away with it. Why doesn't Sansan get away with it? Fuck you guys, first off.
Yeah, John can fuck his aunt, but
I can't like Sandor.
At least he didn't fuck his sister.
But, I mean, Rhaenys is dead, so...
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but Sansa is still, like, basically his sister, though.
Yeah.
More his sister than Dany is his aunt.
Jonza is... No. Here's the deal is, Jonza was brought up as their... Well, we're not going there yet. We're back on...
We need to get back on the fucking
incest,
story
but
here.
it isn't really as much incest as...
Don't make me defend incest against incest, okay? What has our podcast come to? We were pure. Just last week, we were just talking about me getting spit roasted by Beric and Sandor, and here we are talking about incest.
How motherfuckers
There's
need
so
to
much-
lore?
They're just like, hey, incest is cool. You guys should enjoy watching it. And that's the only sex scenes we really get, aside from Missandei.
Hey, it's okay
Grey
because
Worm.
they're Targaryens.
Ugh.
Chloe, the look on
Daenerys
your
supposed to-
face.
wasn't Daenerys supposed to make the world a better place because Tyrion told her she should? And then wasn't she also supposed to break the fucking wheel? And now she's like, but you still have to follow the rules of the wheel because I'm part of it actually. So I'm gonna rebuild the Targaryen incest dynasty, and you all have to kneel to me or be killed. And I'm breaking the wheel, you guys. The world is a better place. I just
So-
don't understand.
What if I told you Daenerys is the wheel?
Dun dun dun.
Ew.
And she's
Sorry.
a broken man.
Sorry.
There are many sorts of dragons, like there are many sorts of birds. Wait, no, that's the wrong quote. That ruined Sansan too. This is horse shit.
Boo.
Anyways, back to the dragon pit.
Yes.
One of the best things of any of that for me was immediately right before that Cersei scene when she was like, "Okay, Gregor, kill the silver bitch, kill my brother, and how about you just wild card kill Johnny Snow? You know, fuck him. He's his dad's son. Fuck him. Just kill him." That was like for me. That was the moment I was like, Lena Headey. You may survive us yet, girlfriend. I hope Cersei's still around in like a year on this show. You know what? Fuck this show. I hope Cersei wins. I hope the Night's King and Cersei have a wild fucking just like she's riding him, reverse cowboy on his ice dick, and he's just like Viserion, you go burn shit down, baby. Do you? I'ma bang my bitch. You know what? Like maybe that's the end, is what I'm saying.
What if we
Chloe-
get that, but as a spin-off series? That's one of the spin-offs they're
Oh my
writing.
god.
I'm already signed up to watch all 7 seasons.
Hell
I fucking can't with
yeah.
you.
I hope there's 10. Honestly.
I hope there's 27, bitch. Bring it on.
I want this to go on longer than South Park, or The Simpsons, or
Lost.
Doctor Who.
Whoa.
Any of
Do
that.
you? I'm sorry, Amy. You're surrounded by Doctor Who
I haven't
fans
watched
as
the
well.
show in like 3 seasons. I don't know what's up.
Same.
Same.
Of Doctor Who?
So,
Yeah.
okay, here's something. I stopped watching Doctor Who because it was, like, ruining my life because it was so bad.
I gave up when Stephen Moffat, like, I had the same problem I have with D&D with Stephen Moffat, and I, like, rage quit on that show as well.
It got so bad once Season 8 happened that I couldn't anymore. Exactly. And so what if I just, like, don't watch Season 8 of this either?
Yeah, I mean, I've been considering not watching it because I have a feeling they're gonna just bust out all of the biggest book spoilers that they have. Like, they're gonna exhaust everything that George has told them, and even though the context is gonna be night and day different, I'm still gonna be spoiled on the things.
Exactly.
The things themselves.
So glad that, like, you at least, like, because I mean, I'm totally book reform purist, but I appreciate the books because of their beautiful nuance and amazingness.
Hater trademark. And people ask me, like, if you don't like it, why do you watch it? I'm like, well, I'm a fan of the books, and there is no not watching it when you're, like, in a fandom for the books. You're going to hear about it, and you're going to be spoiled on it, and people are going to come to me talking about it.
Agreed. Make enemies on the internet, whatever.
Yeah. I've made more friends than enemies, though. And some frenemies.
Sing. Okay, first off, we enter the dragon pit, and, like, Euron Greyjoy does his beautiful, like, show up, talk, no one gives a fuck, first off, because stop talking. Second off, he leaves, he's like,
Yeah, it would be like when Stannis was attacking King's Landing, and Cersei was, like, gonna drink.
like, okay, Euron, bye, come back with blue lips. Like, it's
Remember?
Sorry.
Remember when somebody said that, like, who said that Euron was gonna make Ramsay look like a child, or like he wasn't
I think
shit?
it was Euron's actor.
Yeah, like, somebody was hyping him up. I'm like, bitch, where? Where?
For real.
Where?
When he did the naval scene this series, like, that was the time where I was like, okay, I could take Euron seriously in this show. Like, that was the first time that I almost thought, like, suspension of disbelief. Cool. Like, even without seeing this, okay.
Behind it.
But this, like, and the reasoning for it came later in another scene, but it took away from the overall effect, and, like, you just don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care. I'm just like, you're not Euron, really, and I don't care, so...
Well, like, it's hard to buy the whole, like, he's this intimidating villain when he hasn't had any presence at all in the season. He was kind of a presence in the beginning, but then he was just kind of forgotten about. He didn't matter to the meat of the story, and yeah, like, I guess it's a ruse that he was just a coward the whole time, but why can't the zombies swim? Why?
They can just walk across the bottom of the ocean.
I don't think do bones float?
No. No
Are they
bones about
buoyant?
it.
Are they buoyant?
How
They
can
can't carry weapons with
not,
them.
How can they not swim? They can swim when the plot needs them to. They
Didn't swim though. I'm sure they just like walked into the lake and then walked out like in Pirates of the Caribbean.
During the battle scene last episode, weren't they crawling up out of the water and pulling themselves up onto the ice? Or they were like, when they pulled John under the ice, I mean, we did never see them come out, but still, like, and why can't they swim, man? Like,
There's a whole bunch of... Well, that's the thing. I don't think a skeleton
magic.
can swim, though. I don't think they have, like, the ability to, you know, they can't, like, flipperize their hands at all.
And bones aren't buoyant unless they have, like, some kind of, like, deficiency for their...
Okay, whoa. First off, let me just backtrack for 1 second. Give it a pause, you guys. I need you all to sit down because, you know what? It ain't that deep, first off.
The water is.
Damn it. That's true.
the water.
It ain't that deep.
You know,
It's the show. Let's take a moment to, refocus and look in from the outside and remember it ain't that deep. The show will never be that deep. No one cares about the actual mechanics and science of these fucking little zombie bone things.
spoopy skeletons. That's their scientific name.
3
Hey,
spoopy, 5 me.
I'm always about skeleton armies.
Anyways, can we talk about Sandor going down in the boat and just poking the box? And I was like, Mom, he's touching me.
No, like, watching that scene, I was literally like, oh, he's definitely the one that pokes the sleeping bear.
Don't poke the bear.
He definitely is the one that pokes the bear.
He ends up stabbing the
He
bear,
did a lot
too.
of stuff this episode that I was like, Sandor, would you cut it out? You are being a little much.
He's being extra.
Very extra, which I have never been in my whole life, but were I ever extra, I would say, Sandor, you were being it.
What did you guys think about him confronting Greg?
So contrived.
Yeah, they could have done that a lot better.
Clocaine Bowl.
Wah, wah, wah.
Just give me actual Clocaine Bowl for
It felt like
fucking
actual
shit.
wrestling.
He's like, we'll
like-
see each
It
other
did!
in
That
season
was
8.
a fake wrestling moment in Game of Thrones. You are so right.
Are they gonna do a Gregor versus Sandor pay-per-view fight?
Pay-per-view.
Isn't that what HBO is
Yeah.
anyway?
But yeah, I felt like that it should have been a lot more of an emotional scene rather than him just walking up, saying some shit, and leaving. He just walked off. He didn't even stay for the meeting. He just left in disgust. But there was it wasn't like that emotional. I didn't feel like there was much of a punch to it.
If that scene had been the same length of time, and Sandor had not said anything, it would have been much better.
Yeah. The face
Even
acting could have carried it.
If he had stayed on the other side of, like, everything, and he had just stayed over on his side and eyeballed his brother, and they had, like, a moment where they both just were, like, bleh, stares at each other,
I see
that
it.
was just as powerful. That's especially because Gregor is not going to say anything. You know he's not going to get anything
Got it.
out of his brother. So, like, and Sandor wouldn't waste his words. He would stare from afar and think, like, how fucked up is this? You know,
Yeah.
It was contrived for a fan service moment, and it's season, like, finale. So we know with Game of Thrones, like, they want to go for the Tribe fan service. And that's fine. That's the only reason I'm watching at this point. Like, you think when dragons
That's
were
fair.
flying over King's Landing, I wasn't going, yes, jacking it. Like, I was cool. It was cool. I mean, like, so I get the whole, like, I love the books, and I hate, I hate the show, obviously, for some of its things. It does. I appreciate it when I can. And I don't know, it was just like, come on, man, like, we want to love it. I want to love the dragons soaring everywhere. I want to love action scenes. But, like, that was a bit much. That was like, let me force feed you this scene about Sandor possibly killing his brother. Aren't we clever?
Yeah, it just felt like horned in there instead of, like, a lot of stuff that happens doesn't feel organic, I guess.
Exactly, no organic growth.
I think that was the least organic thing, at least, in this episode. I think that was probably the low point.
What was?
That scene right there.
Oh, yeah.
That pit scene was so long, and until the white came out, nothing mattered to me. I was just like, this is so boring, and I'm just like sitting there waiting, and I'm like, please do something soon, I'm so tired. And then like they let the white out, and they did all that, and I was like, okay, some action.
That was a good scene.
Fucking love that. Because Cersei's just like, shit, nah.
And Lena's acting, her face told all, like, just watching her face and her little reveries, her little, like, motions where her eyebrow will just slightly move and her cheek will move and her mouth will, you'll see the curve go a different way. Like, Lena Headey is the biggest talent on this show, which is why she's still alive. Cersei should not be alive by now. She should be dead. And
really
the reason is because Lena Headey.
Preach.
Yep.
So you don't think Cersei will be queen in the book?
Not like this.
Not for this long.
Yeah, no.
It seems so likely.
I mean, the end of Dance, we're left with, you know, fucking Varys making sure everyone's dead so that Cersei's crazy reign can go on. So, I mean, that means to say that by end of TWOW, I would think that her arc is done. You know, like, or not done, but, like, her reign is over at least. Like, maybe she retreats to Casterly Rock, however you want to see it. I just think that by the end of The Winds of Winter, Cersei will not be on the throne.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I don't know if we'll ever see Cersei on the throne, and if we do, the context will just be so night and day different, it won't even be the same thing, I think.
Right. I mean, rough outline, she kills everyone she hates, whatever, and gets away with it somehow because she's crazy. And, like, she, like, fucking, like, you know, like, that, I get the broad strokes. Like, somehow Cersei is queenish and does stuff and burns people and hates people and she's evil. That's cool. But, like, I get the thing is, like, with the show, I like to look at the broad strokes are very broad. Like, if you look on the outside, like, Sansa will come back to Winterfell with the Vale Army. That's a broad stroke. How she gets there is horseshit. Fuck the show. Yeah. But, like, that kind of shit, like, yeah, this is where I look at it kind of like a chessboard in my head that, like, these are where the players are moving. Watch them as they move. How they get to those spots might not be the same path as what we see on screen, but, you know, yeah, so, like, Cersei, she might end up crazy bitch queen, whatever, and we might see her do all this betrayal, whatever bullshit, cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I pretty much agree, and, with the dragon pit scene, it was pretty awkward. I think that a part of that was intentional. They wanted you to, like, kind of feel how awkward all the characters felt being there together, and they didn't know what to say to each other.
Yeah.
But it was also awkward in other ways. I don't know, like, it felt just really forced, all the dialogue. When Benioff and Weiss write dialogue, I usually don't like it anyway, but, again, Tyrion had to be the one to stand up and start things off.
The problem with the show especially is that it's like all this dialogue. Anything they do that's dialogue driven is weak. It's automatically weak. They're not good at dialogue. They're good at action. They're good at CGI. They're not good at dialogue driven plots, arcs, anything. All their dialogue is generally weak. It relies on cock jokes, as we saw. The first two scenes in the whole entire show this episode were all cock jokes. Like, I get it. You guys have dicks. You want to talk about it. But, like, come on, man. Like,
There's a lot of that in the book.
move on with the action. Give me some dragon banging dragon by now. Come on. I'm just kidding. It was really gross. We'll get there. Continue.
OTP.
Oh god, what was I saying? Never mind. Don't worry about me.
Okay, so, like, Cersei is like, hey, North, bend the fucking knee, because we ain't got time for this. And, John just, like, straight up admits, like, yeah, the thing about that, I'm already bent the knee, so can't actually do this thing.
John,
And
you
I'm like,
stupid loyal bastard!
exactly. Like, you should have fucking lied.
Wait. I need to have a moment. Did Kevin just say something about John that was not like John's the best? Wait.
John's always been a fucking idiot.
Did you just call? Can you say, Kevin? What'd you just say?
John's always been a fucking idiot. I'm sorry, he has been. He has no political tact whatsoever.
Is this happening on the season finale episode? Elena,
I like
is
Jon
this
Snow. He's a great character, but he still is a political hack. He's like the Jimmy Carter of president of Lord Commanders.
I love it.
Beautiful.
I mean, it is true. I mean, he's a good person, but he's just politically a moron.
Completely.
Like, let's talk about the Wildling situation. He did the right thing. He had he was horrible at trying to sell it. Let's talk about the North, like him trying to be with Daenerys. Like, seriously, or him trying to work with Daenerys in that case. Like, simple thing. Help me fight this war, I will bend the knee, because the North will follow me after that. Before we do that, I lose all my power. Jon is politically ignorant, but good character. He's a good leader. He's like commander and shit. You know?
Chloe, say something.
I think we broke her.
She's just
Is
freaking
it
out.
happening to me? I can't believe Kevin just said any of the words that he said them.
I would like to refer you back to my Lannister glass.
No, it's too late. A lot of things that you can't take back because they're recorded. You just said that John's an idiot politically, which I would like to say he is, so you're correct. That's a true thing what you just went off on. I don't know, my face kind of hurts from the drop jaw I was doing, but so, Kevin, you're correct. John is an idiot. Good job. His not dad, his stepdad was also a fucking idiot.
Damn.
Love him.
Stark.
Love good old Eddie. Eddie Stark, what a guy, but he was stupid.
But here's the thing. They, Ned and John are very similar to each other, especially in that, whole political ignorance, but personally, their moral values are amazing, and, the narrative and the characters all around Ned basically understood that, and they knew that, and they treated him thusly, but everyone around John is, patting him on the back so hard, his back should be so red by now from all the pats he's getting for being so politically savvy and always doing the best thing and making all these good choices.
At least he got called out this time. They were like, you fucking moron. We're all gonna be dead because of you.
We're fucked.
Thanks, John.
You fucked us. Yeah, at least they called him out for once. But even still, everyone comes up to him afterward and they're like, you know what? I really respect you for doing that.
And we gotta preserve what allies you can.
Right?
So the next scene we get is Tyrion, and he's just like, well, we're all fucked. Might as well go die now instead of later. I'm gonna go talk with my sister. And he runs into Jaime outside of her chambers. And
Shocker.
and Jaime, this is the first time that Jaime's like, yeah, she's not listening to me. We're both idiots, apparently.
No. Everyone
think-
take a drink. Jaime Lannister had a character development?
What? My drink. I did seriously think Tyrion might die in that scene, though.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
I mean, the plot armor is strong. But I honestly could have seen Cersei just being like, fuck this shit, I'll kill him now. Because Cersei.
Well, no, yeah, like, regular Cersei, of course. Like, actual Cersei, if Tyrion came within her arm's reach, she would bludgeon the shit out of him. Like, none of that made sense, but I thought we were past the point of trying to actually justify characters' actions in this show.
I was almost hoping that was going to happen, just because, one, I really hate show Tyrion. I don't know if anyone knows that. But, two, it would have been fucking savage and would have had everyone talking. And three, it just, like, would have kind of brought some of that no one is safe shit back into the show. I was kind of hoping that it would happen, because, like, Gregor kept getting used as, like, a threat all episode. She's like, oh, I'll make him do it, and he'd, like, pull his sword out a little bit, and then she wouldn't do it.
I agree, especially when we get to that scene later, which, it was effective in the scene it was actually used in later, but, I don't know, it was obvious Tyrion wasn't gonna die to me, because Tyrion exists still.
Hey, he's Tyrion.
He should have died by now, right? Like, if we wanted Tyrion to die, he would have died by now. He had ample chances. He fell into a fucking river with stone diseased men.
He literally went and talked to dragons.
Happened in the book, too.
The dragons were like, oh, hi, you could be our snack. And he's like, no, hold on.
He legitimately survived Quentin's plot. Quentin Martell's plot was survived by him. Like, Tyrion's not gonna die, obviously. Get it through your skulls. Not now. If he go, it's gonna be the very end.
Season finale by
Dude,
Cersei
the
herself. I could see it.
I would kill myself. Fuck you. After the white action, where Sandor, my boyfriend, comes out and he whips out the white, and he's all like battling the white, like chop, 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 looking beautiful. John shows up and he gives the best infomercial of all time about dragon glass. Holy shit, he just really sold the dragon glass for me, you know?
He picks up the hand and he's like, you burn it, or you stick it. And
You should have mentioned the Valyrian steel.
Plus shipping and raven
for the low price.
Am I making this up that in the books, whites can only be killed by fire and not by dragon glass? Am I making that up?
They blur the line between White Walkers and whites that I'm not really entirely sure anymore. I thought that the others were the ones that died by dragon glass, and the whites are what die by fire and only fire.
That's what I thought. So
but have they even tried dragon glass on whites? I don't know.
So the show just decided to throw whatever that was out, and whatever. That happens, apparently.
Well, you know, they threw out dead things in the water, too, so...
Hey, there are dead things in the water.
They can't swim, though. They can't swim.
They can't wear blue lipstick, either, so...
It would have been hard for him to emote with the blue lipstick on.
Yeah, he might have actually had to use, like, a characterization or something.
Yeah, it was just too hard. He put on the blue lipstick, and it was very uncomfortable, so... I'm shading the purple eye contacts, by the way. I don't know if that was too obscure.
Blue lipstick everywhere.
Dude, we'll get there, but Rhaegar cast.
Not
spot
like
on for Viserys relation. Anyways.
Yeah, I almost thought that was the Viserys actor.
Me too, it looked just
same.
Look it up. Did they just reuse the wig?
Probably.
Wig.
Wig flute.
Cheap motherfuckers.
God, the internet, man.
I know. Just the memes. That's all. That's it.
The whole time I was sitting here during this live tweeting, my roommate, my friend was sitting here, and I was like, I have to find this meme and this meme for this tweet, 'cause it would be good with this meme. And I was like, oh god, what have I become?
You haven't become anything. You've always been trash.
Where's my "you're doing amazing, sweetie" meme for Sandor? Like,
he was doing amazing, sweetie. It was weird not seeing him in armor, and it has been for a while. But at least it's not the Shrek outfit, and he looked good. He looked good, and I love him.
With his little burns and his half burned off ear when he was talking to Brienne, he was all like, and his ear was out, and I was like, oh, this is so not canon.
He's like, oh, I really care about Arya, and looks at smudged writing on hand.
Sandal Stark.
Salsa?
Salsa? Salsa Stark? Fuck gingers.
Oh my god, yeah, I looked at the camera like I was on The Office when he said that. He's like, I fucking hate ginger.
He
But
says,
his is
fuck
for life.
gingers. Me? What the fuck? What did we ever do to you?
Yeah.
Kissed by
Sang
fire,
a song to
motherfuckers.
him, prayed for him. That's what you did for him.
Ungrateful bitch.
Anyways, so Sandbar Clogalong.
Sandbox.
Wait,
Sorry,
but
D&D Googling it.
Sandbox and Sandal Stark have never met in the show?
Yeah, when would that have happened?
I'm really glad that we just D&D Google speaked.
I'm sorry.
Maybe-
You'll probably have to cut us out detouring over to Sandor all the time.
Oh no, I'm not cutting this out. This is awesome. Good. This is the core of this episode. This episode was built off this. I mean,
Yeah, it was the main thing that happened.
did you guys see the D&D Googling tweet today that destroyed the internet?
No.
Which one?
I didn't even see that.
It didn't actually destroy the internet, but it was my favorite one of the week. It was, are Drogon and Ghost gonna yiff?
Oh, wait, no, I think I retweeted that.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll go.
That is so good.
I'll go.
Oh, Sansa and Arya and John and Dany are both trending right now. Just for your put that in your time capsule.
Can you believe that someday, several years from now, we'll think about this day? Ever?
Eat it.
I hope
That's
not.
it. That's all I had for this. So Euron's all Bales. John is all I'm gonna bend the knee for Dany because dragon pussy, yo. And
Well, he's got a
Wait,
compelling
what?
argument.
so John's all I cannot serve two queens. I can only serve one queen. And the whole time I was like, can I watch you try to serve both? I mean, I can.
I think that they would like it if you tried.
It would solve all the problems.
Yeah, it would.
That last scene. If it had been Cersei, Dany, and John, those are the three heads of the dragon, I'd be into it.
Three
viewers,
heads get.
listeners, you can't see, but I did make a blowjob motion.
It's true, I saw it.
It was graphic.
It was disgusting. Nobody needs to see that.
Oh, she's doing it again. It's
That was
Slower
Kevin making that
motion.
I'm
noise.
gonna throw up.
Oh, God.
Daenerys.
You're such a lady.
That's a lie.
I love lemon cake.
Yeah, you're so much like Sansa.
I believe that I'm more like Elaine Stone. Thank you very much.
Speaking of Sansa, are we on to the Winterfell scene yet?
Hopefully.
No, hold on. No. So right after
That's why I'm
the
like,
whole,
come on.
I serve Daenerys, she's my queen, and Cersei's all well, fuck you guys, bye, good luck. They take a brief recess, and Brienne and Jaime have their first moment in forever. Must be nice. Sansan, shippers everywhere, and don't care. So, that's nice. Must be nice not having your ship erased completely. I know you understand, Elena. Gendria shippers everywhere understand.
It is happening. Shut the fuck up.
What the fuck? Are you just trying to shut my ship down?
Wait, where the fuck is Gendry at anyway? Was he with the party at King's Landing?
No one knows, dude.
He must have died at the
Maybe.
wall.
Yeah, what if he was at the wall?
He died at Eastwatch, guys. That's what happened.
I mean, they're all dead, right?
Yeah, every one of them.
Shaka, when the wall fell.
Beric, Tormund, the Night's Watch, all the wildlings.
Wait, you're saying that Illyria Dane's fiance is dead?
Yes. That's what I am saying. Everyone's dead.
Bruh.
Everybody's dead, Dave.
Bruh.
Also, why did they attack Castle Black?
Anyways, so let's go back to
It was Eastwatch, wasn't it?
Yeah, they
That's
attacked
where
Eastwatch.
Tormund
Okay,
was.
but that's a point for later. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So we leave the dragon pit scene. John ruins everything as usual. He's all like, I only support Daenerys. Sorry, Cersei. And Cersei's like, well, I take all my support back. But you know she's a fake bitch. She was gonna take it back anyway, whatever.
Right.
But, I mean, I would too. So.
I mean, it kind of renders the whole white bagging thing pointless because Cersei was never going to side with them, even if she says she was
Ever.
going to.
It's
Yeah, so
Cersei.
Yeah, so it isn't like it actually had any meaning, you prove to her that they exist, yeah, but she's still not going to help your ass.
Right.
So it was ultimately meaningless, and Viserion did die for nothing.
Like, that little part when she corners John, I don't remember where it is, so I really don't care, but, like, when she corners John, so, like, dude, my dragon died for nothing because of your fucking big mouth. Like, I'm like, yeah, finally, some consequences for Jon Snow, because he's never had those before, besides getting stabbed, but that was, like, I mean, like, if your employees show up to work and they hate you and they stab you, you're doing a bad job. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Usually I don't stab my bosses when they piss me off.
And then it's funny because they do fuck, and they do get fucked later, and they fuck each other. It's great.
Yeah, no, I thought that was good too, with the whole, like, oh, we're fucked, and I, like, stared straight in the camera. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, like, that didn't happen this episode.
What?
Don't know what you're talking about. So, they, like, leave the dragon pit, and you get a Brienne and Jaime scene. So I know Brienne and Jaime shippers everywhere are so happy because their ship is back alive. Must be fucking nice. But Brienne's all like, fuck you, like, don't be an asshole, you know this is a threat, you just saw it with your own eyes, be reasonable, but, like, she said, like, a shorter phrase than that, but...
She literally said, fuck loyalty, and I'm like, oh.
I was like, who is this bitch? This isn't Brienne.
Sansa sent her with that idea. Sansa was like, Sir Jaime's gonna be there, and Brienne's like, you right, all the spice he needs. Like...
I'm a whole lot of woman.
Yeah, she was like, look, the puberty I've had in the last 7 months has been so great.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying. The rape plot I endured has grown my character enough to give you, a grown woman, advice.
Yeah.
This season, I've been really salty about that. Like, every time Sansa does something that I'm like, good job, Sansa, you're being who you're supposed to be, then I stop and I'm like, but remember when she got her superpowers of being a lady of a house from being raped for a season?
Yeah, that was totally necessary. And it had to happen that way. They had no other choice. They were written into a corner, and it would have been so unrealistic for Ramsay.
It's just bad.
Everyone else...
Like, they could have, like... It's too bad they couldn't have had her live in the Eyrie as a de facto bastard daughter of the Eyrie, you know what I mean? And, like, have her learn how to be... It's just too bad the plot wouldn't allow for that. I understand how trying these times with the script and the writing and, like, coming up with really decent plots are. It's just too bad.
It is. It's a shame.
Not far at all.
If I get up on a rant about season 5, we'll never go to bed tonight.
No, we'll yell for 8 years. I fixed Dorne on Twitter the other day, by the way.
Yeah, I have fixed it in my head a lot of nights in my dreams.
Dude, easiest way, ready for it? Are you ready? Hold on to yourself, are you ready?
I'm holding.
Season 6. Dorne says, Trystane, we have to go to King's Landing and swear our fealty. We just have to. That's the way it goes. Because you can make anything else up in this plot, so why not this? So... we have to go to King's Landing, swear our fealty, we'll come back to your betrothed, Myrcella, we're leaving her here as a hostage so they don't kill us. They get killed on the way because Cersei's all like, why are the Dornish coming with an army? What the fuck? And she's crazy and paranoid, so she kills them. And then the Sand Snakes have Myrcella, so they kill Myrcella out of, like, revenge. And then they go, well, we have Dorne now since they're dead, so we're going to rise up against the Lannisters. And they try to rise up against the Lannisters, and they get killed when they get there in the Sept. I mean, that's like, there's Dorne.
Okay.
Improved.
Hey, but then how would we have Ilaria flirting with Yara? That was an important scene in this season.
Very important. It was crucial.
Like, how would the plot be tied together without that scene?
That's the thing, is Dany comes to Westeros, and Dorne goes, yeah, we'll support you. We'll support anyone that's not Cersei. So, like, there you go. They don't have any, like, ties at that point. They support Dany, and then we end it where it went. Like, I mean... we could even do the poison thing, like, they could have poisoned Myrcella, Cersei poisoned Tyene. I mean, like, I'm just saying, we can still keep the tropey weird, like, must make Dorne sexy and gay shit, whatever. I'm down with that. But, like, do it better.
Fair.
That's all.
Dorne is probably the weakest point of the whole show.
Partially gay. I'm just saying, let's make it sexy and partially gay.
Well, you set a tone with Oberyn, and they decided to go with that the rest of the way.
I know. Anyways, so we get a Tyrion and Cersei scene, you guys. That's huge.
Yeah.
When's the last time we've had that? Season 2?
Years.
Maybe season
5,
3.
4, 3? Season 3? 4? 4. Season 4. 5. I don't know.
Sometime.
I don't know numbers. Season 5. We haven't had it since like season 4 technically, but season 5.
When do they talk in season 5?
No, I mean like didn't talk that. It's just like season 5 was the first season without fucking Kevin.
Continue.
Sam just came downstairs. He just got done watching Rick and Morty, and on Adult
Rick and
Swim,
Morty.
I guess they had a bump that was just like a black screen with white text, and it just said the writing of Game of Thrones, 2011 to 2016.
I haven't seen it yet, and I can't wait to see. Shit.
Okay, we can proceed, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
Good. Tyrion and Cersei scene was great. Lena and Peter have really great chemistry. I can't complain on that.
Like we said
It was a
earlier.
long coming.
It was so nice to see Peter actually get to use some acting instead of just telling dick and shit jokes all the time and drinking and knowing things. It was really nice.
Agreed, for sure. It was really nice that Tyrion in the last few episodes has had like a plot and a characterization.
What are
Right.
those?
Right. Weird.
I do want to know, like, what were the character arcs this season? Like, when you zoom out and look at the whole season as a story, what was the character development? What were the arcs? What journey did they go on?
John,
It's really
Danny,
complicated,
Sansa,
so I think
Arya.
we should chill out.
I'm just thinking deep
Yeah.
thought. This is what
Oh,
happens
and
when you
Cersei
make people drink
and
and
Jaime.
talk on a podcast.
And know things.
I drink and I know things. It's what I do.
True.
Do you think Jon Snow doesn't know anything because he doesn't drink?
Now that's a good theory.
True.
Have you ever seen him?
We don't see him drink.
Well, I mean, we see him time to time have some wine. He's drunk in one of the scenes in Winterfell, but I don't think we ever see him drunk after that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
no.
probably knew something back then.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
we've
knew where to
seen
put it.
Ale.
I think that might be a solid theory. I'm getting on Reddit right now.
In GOT or ASOIAF? I mean, we know there's two places here.
Both, because everyone needs to hear this.
Wait,
Free
which
folk
theory?
too.
Are you
Fuck
posting?
it. What?
Which theory?
Post.
Eh? Oh yeah, the theory that Jon Snow doesn't know, he knows nothing because he never drinks.
Oh, gotcha.
What you said.
You have to drink to know things.
Nice.
That's a great theory.
Thank you.
It's confirmed.
Man, it was really hard to like not love that Peter and Lena scene because I mean that fan service. It's been years, so it was worth it. Like getting them together is really good. That banter was strong. Like they had that chemistry. They had that Cersei hates him so much. Tyrion like I'm here and I'm trying kind of thing going on. I mean it was good, ish.
Yeah,
Some of the best
I
the show's
really
done in a
enjoyed
while.
those two actors being in the same room together again, because I actually miss those old scenes where they would just be sitting there over a cup of wine talking mad shit to each other. That was actually really enjoyable. I will say, like, Tyrion basically said the same things to Cersei and Jaime both, which takes me back to they could have deleted a few scenes and the same. But like he uses the same argument with Cersei and Jaime. They're like, "You killed our dad." And he's like, "He was gonna kill me. Hey, go easy on me."
Forget
on.
about it.
But I enjoyed the conversation with Cersei a million times better. I thought it was way more emotional, and I don't know, those two characters in the same room is good shit.
I agree. I really feel like last episode with the Tyrion Jaime reunion, was that last episode or episode before?
I think the episode before.
Episode before.
Yeah.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
That like reunion with Tyrion and Jaime, like I expected it to be has. Like, because, like, you know, you've been given, like, that's my brother, I love him, and that's my brother, I love him, even though it's weird and awkward, and, like, I sent him to, you know, like, Easteros, and I, killed our dad. Like, I mean, like, I get it's different, like, dynamic, but, like, I just expected their reunion would have more resonance than the Cersei Tyrion. And the Cersei Tyrion, it kind of reminds me of how Tyrion's just, like, dirt. Like, in A Dance of Dragons, you're like, Tyrion, you're the salt of the earth, dude. You are scourge. You suck. And so, like, yeah, like, him and, like, Cersei having this conversation where they happen to kind of meet in the middle. Like, not meet, but, like, a lot of their responses made sense to each other. And they were speaking the same language because they're both garbage dumpster humans.
It's true.
You're right.
So, I don't know, that
Well,
seems
Cersei's one of the few people in this show who isn't just totally gaga for Tyrion, which is really refreshing. Cersei isn't like, yes, Tyrion is the best, because reasons.
Like, even, it made me mad because they whitewashed it with Sansa. She's like, Lord Tyrion was always nice to me, and it's like, yeah, but, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, get a grip.
Come on, girl.
Still married you against your will, so, I mean, he wasn't that nice.
It was against his will, too, though.
And he's a man. He has power for that, so.
Not against Tywin. Oh, he's got power against Tywin. This cat fucks me up.
I don't know. If anyone had power against Tywin, it's the guy who killed him.
Well, yeah, eventually, but, you know.
Well, and I think they did kind of change the tone of that to more of, like, it wasn't Tyrion's choice in the show. In the books, it was...
they whitewashed him.
Yeah, they whitewashed the shit out of him. And I think in the show it was kind of like a corner he was backed into, and he's like, oh, I don't have a choice. But in the books, like, he did to an extent choose it.
Yeah, because he was all feeling up on her after their wedding.
He was like, I could have Winterfell. That is true. That could be mine. And I like power.
Cups.
God damn it.
Using on these little 13-year-old titties. Like, 12-year-old titty. 8 cups. I don't. Anyways. I had 8 cups till I was 18, so.
These combination of words on our podcast need to be deleted.
Oh, I'm not deleting that one.
Oh, shit.
I think everyone should know it.
Oh, my God.
I don't now. They're C's, thanks. You want to know? They are C cups. I had to become an alcoholic for these.
Okay.
I might delete that.
Probably a good idea.
We leave the Tyrion scene. I know you want to talk about Littlefinger, Kevin. I get it. I need you to sit down and shut up.
I've been sitting down this whole time.
We can go out of order.
That's the issue. We jump out of order and then we never get back to it.
Yeah, that's the problem, Amy, is if we go out of order, like, there's no going back. We're idiots. We're high drunk.
Hey,
if we look back, we're
I was
lost.
trying to rein it in. You all failed me. I tried.
Lena, I'm finger gunning at Amy.
I tried.
I'm finger gunning back, but you can't see me.
Oh, I wish I could see you. I love you so much.
Oh, I love you too. I'm glad I get to see your fleshy faces.
It's kind of cool. You're gonna be at Ice and FireCon next year, so we'll all hang out then too.
Yay!
Well,
Oh yeah. So we got this little scene between Dany and John, and Dany literally walks up to John, and she's like, he and her talking, and he's all, no one's less happy about this than I am, and I'm like, same.
It's like, I could think of one person. Me.
This wall has been breaking for episodes, and not that wall. Other wall. The one
I really want to talk about the boat sex. I really do.
We're not even
This
close.
episode.
I never want to talk about it. It hurt me to watch. I was literally so disgustingly turned off.
I can't.
My vagina has never been drier.
My uterus is shriveled.
I was literally in the middle of crying because of Rhaegar and Lyanna, and then they did that, even though I knew they were gonna do that. I knew they were intercutting the scenes, and I'm so dry even now.
You know what? I'm laughing because one, the order of the scenes is like, she's his aunt, and then they're fucking, but then, like, it wasn't even like a build-up in the episode to, like, them, like, there's no foreplay or flirting beforehand or like, or deep confessions. It was just like, Rhaegar and Lyanna are getting married, and then, like, everyone's finding out he's his aunt, and then it just, like, cold cuts to them fucking.
It's like, they're just doing it. We'll get there, but it's, anyways. So, like,
I loved it.
This is the foreplay. This is the foreplay to their scene, what we're talking about. This scene is supposed to be John and Dany foreshadow fuck scene.
Yeah.
And,
they
like,
love each other so
he's
much.
all, like, talking to him, and he's like, your family hasn't seen its end, and I'm like, ah.
Guess what? And you can probably still get pregnant, because what does Mary Mazdor know? Nothing. I'm Jon Snow.
Good, ho.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Or what's that in Rick and Morty? He's like, the improv guy, he's like, that's not what he does. He goes like, I don't know, I'm drunk.
In the John and Dany scene, there's another line I want to discuss.
Die.
Anyways, the your family hasn't seen its end, John says, which is like, it's just the most obvious writing. We get it. He's part dragon, like, and he's gonna fuck her, as we see. Whatever, we get it.
And she's gonna get pregnant.
Stop. I haven't admitted it yet about that, but it's gonna happen. But
She's gonna make a babby, and Cersei's gonna lose her babby.
It's gonna be woof formed babby.
What if it's a boy and it dies, a miscarriage, then it becomes risen by a White Walker, and then it kills from the inside out?
Gotta go.
Valentine.
It's not that deep.
They have to get married so fast, or that baby's gonna be a bastard, and John's gonna be so sad.
Well, that would have to affect his character.
What changes that state of affairs?
And I don't think that's a problem.
John has never wanted a bastard.
Yeah, John, even in the show, he's like, I knew where to put it, but I didn't do it anyway, because I didn't want to risk making a bastard like me.
Grape sex. Grape sex.
God damn it.
Grape sex.
We can stop now.
Grape sex.
I'm gonna murder you. How am I gonna survive 4 fucking days with you?
Okay.
I can't wait. I hate you guys so much.
Hate you too.
It's gonna be fun.
Wait.
Ooh,
So yeah, Cersei has this, like, really big speech where she's all like, I am a good queen, so you guys won't thank me, but I'm gonna do this for you because I'm great, which is like a Cersei thing, and that's fine. But, like, so Lena, give her an award already. Holy shit, right?
Yes,
like,
thank you. Please do.
Killing it. That scene even, like, I was like, damn, my queen, like, you're good all of a sudden. Even though in my head I was like, you're Cersei, so you're a cunt, and you're not good. But if you were good, you would do this. So she had that whole, like, I'm a good queen, you guys will never thank me, but I'm gonna help you. And then she goes inside and she doesn't do it.
Yep, she's like, I'm actually playing them all along. Sweet.
The pacing for those scenes, like, so the big thing was, like, I've read the leaks, I say this every podcast, I've read the leaks, and the pacing they gave us is different. Like, there are some scenes that didn't make it in this episode from what I read from the leaks, and that's not surprising. That happens a lot with production spoilers, where they'll, like, say this is going to happen and then it doesn't, so I'm not surprised. I'm not, like, mad at it or anything. But I was surprised, like, the way that went. I didn't know the way, they didn't present it in the leaks that way, that she was all like, I'm a good queen, before they parted. So, like, she leaves, and, like, everyone at home is sitting there like, wow, Cersei's really turned another leaf. Like, she's, like, trying to, like, keep the realm. Which, to me, I'm like, I know in the books where we are, I'm like, no, she ain't. She's stupid. But, like, in the show, again, because of Lena Headey's acting skills, they write per actor and per event, so they are writing for Lena right now. They're like, we could keep her a little longer. Just a little, keep the show going for, like, you know, like 6 more episodes.
So, like, reverse
Yeah.
Raws?
Yeah, Lena Headey is one of the top builds, dude. She kills
And
it.
she earns every fucking dime.
Yeah,
She is
no,
so good.
I wouldn't
She
say
does
she
it.
doesn't.
She does it. Like, I mean, she deserves that money, for sure. I would never even, like, I understand the plot contrivances they've had to make because of her. Like, that's fine. I would, too. She's great.
You know what one thing that did drive me crazy is, this isn't really so much Cersei's character, but Jaime's, is that this was his last straw. Was expecting him to kind of break his vow. He's like, you're gonna make me break my word, but that's not really something Jaime's ever been so hung up on.
He's literally done that his entire life.
I don't know.
The whole, like, they make you swear and swear thing, like, yeah.
Well, I just feel like part of Jaime's characterization has been, like, he's always had conflicting vows. Doesn't know which ones to, like, follow, whatever. But I always feel like it was always a part of his character, like, trying to actually uphold them like he did for Catelyn. Like, trying to regain some shred of his honor.
Like, and that is a big part of Jaime's character, is that he's being pulled in a bunch of different directions and he can't please everyone. But it still strikes me as weird that this is his straw that makes him leave Cersei's side instead of the part where she blew up a bunch of people with wildfire when that's what he committed kingslaying for. Because that's what I've been wondering all season. Is like, what is his line? Where's the line?
As a precursor, because I don't know by the end of this discussion if I'll ever have the chance to use it again. Get away from her! Get a fucking job, Littlefinger! Holy shit! I feel good now. Now we may discuss the Winterfell plot. Go on.
Okay.
Yes.
So how about it? You know. There's a trap set. There was a trap set. It was reminiscent of King's Landing with Ned. You know, there's a whole thing there.
Overarching feeling, However, let me gain my way into the discourse, friends. In the discourse zone, here's the deal: it was contrived, it was forced. No one understood what they were trying to go for. No one knew they were trying to fake it out because they didn't plan it well enough and they didn't write it well and they relied on their stupid, shitty, bad characterizations of great characters to carry it out, and they were wrong and it was horrible. However, the idea was great.
I pretty much agree. Like, Littlefinger getting his ass handed to him I'm always fucking here for that.
My aesthetic. Is him bleeding on the floor.
People are still unsure if Arya and Sansa were playing him the whole time, or if it was something they recently teamed up on after Sansa's, like, latest discussion with Littlefinger, if they were like, hey, let's fuck this guy over. And I was in the camp that, you know, I've always just, like, it's gonna be the simplest thing, it's not a ruse, like, Arya's being a dick. And then I was wrong. It turned out that it was a ruse. But even though it is a ruse, it still just feels weird. And why were they fighting when they were alone? And what was any of that necessary? Did they need to do any of that shit to have this? You know, it just felt like it was something they were just spinning their wheels with until the finale to make it a big spectacle. But there were no character arcs in here. Like, there was...
So, I have a thought about this. I agree because... So, I read the spoiler leaks, and originally, like, the way they described it was kind of like, no, they didn't know about it, and, like, Sansa surprised Arya, or, like, no, they did know about it, and they were playing him. So, there's all this, like, discourse and discussion. But as it happened, even, like, it was cheaply done. We can all agree that it was contrived and forced and cheaply done. Whatever. However... It's like they made us believe all this shit about them, like you said, like when they were alone, like they were mad at each other when they were alone, there was no one around to hear, like it wasn't set up well, it wasn't executed well, it was executed well, I could watch
the execution was well.
Blood, like for a year, like I could do that for 3 years, I could do it until The Winds of Winter comes out in 10 years, I could honestly watch Littlefinger drown in his blood, however, it wasn't executed well, however, I do want to just pull back for a second and say I predicted Sansa's death sentencing for Littlefinger to a T. I predicted she was going to sentence that motherfucker real hard, that she was going to be all, here's this that you did, you suck, we're going to kill you. It was not well executed, and in the leaks originally there was a scene, yes, Kevin, we will be so soon with you, I promise. There was a scene in the leaks that was where Sansa silently goes to Littlefinger, like, or not Littlefinger, sorry, to Bran. real quiet scene where you don't get to see what happens, but you just see her go into Brienne's chambers. And that's a scene that we were told was going to happen. I think it got removed. I do think it was a real scene. All the leaks were correct otherwise. So I think they cut that scene and they might show it in the deleted. But that was an important scene they should have shown, because that would have helped. And they should have done the episode before. They shouldn't have done it during this. It should have been the last Winterfell scene last episode.
Mm-hmm.
So as a show apologist,
Yeah.
well, this isn't even really something you're apologizing for the show, but I mean, I thought how this was going to end was obvious from the point that Littlefinger gave him the dagger.
Absolutely.
Obviously, he was going to be killed by that dagger, and Bran was going to be the evidence against it. That was set up from that first meeting. As it comes to Sansa and Arya, I feel there is some real animosity between them. At least when they first come back. I mean, you have that initial good vibes, families back at the same time. They never had a good relationship. Arya's a little fucking psychopath, and Sansa's seen enough to be paranoid. So I think that conflict just kind of over time, was Arya wasn't sure, or Sansa wasn't sure, and then it was okay, yeah, Littlefinger's just playing. Let's just, let's end this the obvious way.
But they didn't show how it got there.
Yeah, they kind of skipped over that, so it'd be a reveal for us. But and yeah, I agree. When the second they showed that dagger, it was a Chekhov's gun. It was gonna get Littlefinger was gonna get stabbed the shit out of, or in this case, his throat slit with it. But I wasn't sure how it was gonna get there, especially with all the dramatic tension that they put in for Sansa and Arya. Was I don't know. I just feel like it was kind of over the top, the degree to which they brought them into this tension, and the letter itself was really contrived. I don't see a universe where Arya would be legitimately mad, and if she ever was legitimately mad, I don't know at what point they started working together, if they weren't, you know what I mean? There's a lot of questions that leaves, and it would have been nice to see a scene of Sansa going to Bran and kind of getting some information. Yeah, even silently, just show her walking up to him in the weirwood, by the weirwood,
or even kind of knock on his bedchambers, wait for the door to open, look in, see him, and him nod at her, and her walk in, and then just fade out, go to the next scene.
That would have made it better. That would have made it better.
Yeah, and again, this is something that should have happened back last season, in my opinion. Littlefinger should have never been allowed to stick around this long. He has never been that important, and even in this scene, he was so pathetic of a person. I was is this really the guy who was chaos is a ladder, and all this shit? And I know that that's kind of to a point from the writer's perspective. They're kind of showing he's always been kind of a secret coward, his Peter face is showing instead of Littlefinger. But I don't know. There's just the whole thing just felt very. It was something I wanted to happen, but yeah, it felt forced to me.
Yeah. And that's the problem I had with it, was that overall. However, I don't know. I loved the parallel of him getting his throat slashed and Kat having her throat slashed. That was cool for me in a way. I thought about that a little bit. I was oh no, that's how Kat died. That's how you deserve to die, you fucking coward. I hope you drown in your blood. Anyways, but and I loved the way that Sansa got to sentence him finally. I thought that was great, but at the same time, it's like you said, too late. It should have been done a while ago. Sansa should have been able to see through all that a while ago. Arya wouldn't have come home and been confused, and then there was no translation in between the two. There was no sudden path that was Littlefinger is getting played by these two. Lying to your audience is different than doing a plot twist.
I mean, you should be able to go back and rewatch it and see how obvious it was. And with Sansa and Arya, it wasn't obvious until Arya gives Sansa the dagger.
Exactly.
That moment kind of led you to believe that there was something else to it.
That foot, yeah.
But otherwise, it just. And what bums me out the most is that their entire season arc was dedicated to this.
Yeah. And it didn't even build up to it. It wasn't okay, yes, I am sitting here jacking it to the idea of Littlefinger drowning in his blood. Right now. But was it really worth it? No, it was the same thing as when Sansa was sitting there and the Knights of the Vale were swarming in and saving Jon and, like, saving Winterfell and taking Winterfell. That moment was so cool to see Sansa horseback, like, just, like, sitting there while the Knights of the Vale rode in. That was so cool, but was it worth it? No, it was built on a foundation of bullshit and lies, man. Man, like, I don't have anything else to say, but, like, if you make your foundation not worth it, as far as storytelling, your storytelling is going to become cheap and weakened, and it is what it is.
Yeah, and I feel like in the books, this moment will have such a bigger impact because Littlefinger himself is such a figure that he gets shit done. And not in everyone's favor. And in the last couple seasons, Littlefinger's kind of been a joke of a character, almost on the same level as Varys, where they used to mean something, but now they just kind of stand in the background of scenes and whisper in people's ears and they don't affect anything anymore. Not
and with
really.
Varys, we know Varys is, without Aegon, Varys' plot is empty and hollow.
Hey, we have Aegon.
I mean, they just refuse to, like, give Sansa her full...
Kevin calls shenanigans.
We have Aegon.
We do.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'd like to say that wasn't canon, first off.
That was, you know what, I'm going to say that's probably aside from the boat sex, obviously, that's probably my favorite part of the episode.
Like, she said his name was Aegon, and I literally was just like, what the fuck?
Why would Rhaegar name both his children Aegon?
Because he wouldn't.
The first one wasn't even dead yet. He didn't even expect him to
That's
be
what I'm
dead
saying. Anachronistically speaking, he wasn't dead yet. How would Lyanna know to name him Aegon when there was already an Aegon? Did they get a prophecy that was like, he's gonna die? Like, what's gonna fucking... I wrote a whole Google Doc about this a while ago, and I didn't share it publicly because I didn't want to spoil people. But, like, tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, ha, here I am, saying shit. I was the first one. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Why would they do this? Like, I just don't... I'm trying to think of what the...
He has a baby named Aegon who
What
hasn't
is the
had his head smashed yet.
Does that make John the Mummer's dragon?
I'm so confused, dude.
Looks like it.
He's
I
a
just don't-
Targaryen.
yeah, I really-
We know it for a fact. His name was supposed to be Aegon. We just have to live with it.
This is totally gonna happen in the books, you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
You remember there were people who thought his Targaryen name was Jaehaerys, and why the fuck, anyway, does he need a Targaryen name? Why? Why does that matter?
Just be John, because deep down he's gonna be John. Ned named him after John Aaron, who Aaron took care of him and Robert and cared about his family.
Why does it matter what his Targaryen name was in the first place? Why do they need to make this a thing? Why are they trying to canonize Rhaegar having two sons named Aegon?
I'm so tired.
Same.
Really
Of the show or just, like, tired in general?
Both.
Why didn't they just name him something else? Like, why didn't they give him, like, some other name, like a Targ name of other kind, or, like, even, like, why didn't they call him Jerry?
I will bet
Jerry.
you $1.23 that that's what his name's going to be in the next book.
Okay.
$1.23.
Not Aegon.
It's going to be Aegon.
I bet you $2 his name's not Aegon.
Okay, I'll take that.
Ooh.
His name's gonna be Daenerys.
Nice curveball
Lyanna,
there.
that's the last thing she whispers. We'll name him Daenerys.
His name's Daenerys, and he's above the other Daenerys.
No, his name is His name is Rhaegar, because he's better than his father.
Man.
Rhaegar Jr.
The next scene that we got, by the way, we went forward obviously a little. We have so much to say about this scene anyways. The next scene, after the hollow satisfaction of Sansa killing Littlefinger, was a great scene that was how many seasons late? 3? 4 seasons late?
Which scene?
All of them.
You guys, the next scene we got was Jaime changing his Facebook status to separated.
Why did he bring the Lannister army with him?
It was so good. I literally stood up. I fist pumped for the whole scene silently. Like, I was just fist pumping. Like, and everyone stared at me and was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, just fist pumping quietly, just...
They're like, why is Chloe jacking off invisible dicks right now?
Because Jamie and Cersei broke up, that's why.
Yeah, it's about fucking time. It's been so long. And we only have one season left. It should have happened so long ago. I feel free.
Listen, we know why it didn't happen, right?
Well, because Twincess is hot.
Well, also because Nikolai and Lena are the best actors on the show.
Yeah, that's why you gotta split them up and, like, you know, share the wealth.
Yeah.
True.
Like with other characters, like Brienne.
My poor
Anyway.
Brienne.
Davos.
My poor little baby.
Davos!
Did they pay Gwendolyn Christie as an extra this season?
I think
Probably.
Along with Alfie Allen.
They were like, listen, we're gonna give you a really cool outfit and, like, pay you minimum wage.
And you're gonna get 5 lines. Thanks.
Sounds good to me. Hey, you still have more lines than Rickon Stark did.
My poor baby.
Aww.
He probably made less than an extra.
Probably.
Lame.
He got paid for screen
I'm
time.
like, you think we're gonna pay you, bitch? Please. Just run in a field for 5 minutes and we'll be fine. It's cool.
Ever the Shaggy Dog story.
Remember when Shaggy Dog's head was the size of a watermelon?
Sounds delicious. Sorry.
Probably was.
They probably shrink, mummified a little bit.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
Like,
with
if you
boys.
when you compare, like, the pictures of Rob Wolf's head on his body versus Shaggy Dog's head on the table, it's ridiculous.
But what's consistency?
Yeah, who cares? It's fantasy. Anything can happen.
My favorite part of the Jamie Cersei scene where they break up is that they're getting rid of one incest ship to shovel in the other.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what?
yeah.
That is probably legit the reason that they had them break up now. They're like, we can't have 2 incest ships on the show. That's
Only one.
too much even for us. There can be only one, and clearly the best one is now. John
Like,
and
I
Advance.
have never loved another incest ship in my whole life except for you. Only Daenerys. Push that moon door.
Yeah, I pushed Twincest out the moon door.
I wish. All
That
of
needs
it.
to be a meme.
The things I do
Jot
for
that
love.
shit down.
I'm gonna jot it down right now. I'll hear it tomorrow. So, Winter, as
What's to
Jamie
be on your
leaves
lap?
King's Landing, Winter settles on King's Landing several seasons later.
It's about fucking time.
Winter is here,
Snow-
bitches!
Snowflakes everywhere. Winter is here. You are correct. Snowflakes just coming down and like on destruction on like where the armies have been. He looks down and sees all the armor. Like winter is here, and he's going north. He's going north to fulfill his oath, y'all.
Thank God.
Yep.
That is my son riding up the
And
King's
that's
Road.
what, yeah. Like I don't know what any of the other things are, but that's my son.
Look at my son!
Pride is not the word I'm looking for.
My other son, Theon, also got some lines this episode, and it was pretty nice.
He got some character
I
development.
didn't see it beyond
Yeah.
They're all useless.
He's got the
my
great trait of being able to take a lot of like being beat the shit out of and keep standing up. And for some reason,
Yeah.
some people fall in because of that.
Yep.
I get knocked down.
But I get up
Stand
again.
If I don't have any nuts, I get knocked down.
Can't cockshot me.
That, you know what, that kind of drove me wild a little bit, that he was getting, like, kneed in the groin, and he's like, haha, I get it, I don't have any balls, that doesn't hurt, but,
Yeah.
I think anyone who's ever been hit in the groin can tell you that it fucking hurts. It doesn't matter if you have balls.
I
It fucking hurts.
Literally in the
Whether
middle
you're
of that scene, I was
Well-
like, I'm gonna say from a woman's perspective, that hurts like a son of a bitch still.
Yeah, it hurts, it's still, like, debilitating pain to get kneed there.
I'm sorry, whether you have your ovaries or your dick on the inside or out, it sucks. Don't kick me there. That
You still
sucks.
have
No,
a
no
pelvic
lie,
bone
no
there,
lie.
and
But
it
if any
fucking hurts.
but if anyone in
would
this
be in
universe
pain,
has pain
yeah.
tolerance, it's Theon Greyjoy.
That's true.
I guess.
Get tortured
I'm
for a
just
couple
saying.
years.
With
But
or
it's
without
just
them,
not
I'm
like
pretty
a
sure
gang
he'd just stand there
Or
being
the
like, "Ha!"
bit of a scene.
But yeah, I just love how he beats that one guy up, and everyone's like, yeah, all right, we'll go save Yara now. It's cool.
The best part about that scene was, like, I got up because I knew what, like, I had read what happened, so I was like, whatever, this is a scene I can get up in and go fill my drink. So I got up, went to fill my drink, and I come back and it's still on. And I was like, really? Like, this is still happening? Like, can we be done with it so we can move on? Like, come on, guys. Again, filling these 80 whatever minutes with stuff no one cares about.
Yeah, a lot of it moves really slow just to pad out the episode.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to complain about seeing Alfie Allen because he is also one of the best actors on the whole show, and he deserves more screen time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just the scene of him just getting bullied, I was like, oh, my boy Theon's being told he's a Greyjoy and a Stark. He took the quiz, and which two houses are you?
Honestly,
And
I thought.
he's.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I thought that scene was really sweet. Because I mean, both him and John were just kind of raised as outsiders to the Stark family, and John, he was basically raised from a baby as a member of the Stark family, but he was never fully accepted as a member of the Stark family because of Catelyn. And then Theon, they got him when he was what, 10? 8 or 10?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, 8.
And once again, he was raised alongside the Stark children and taught the same and raised the same as a Stark child, but he was never a Stark. However, in this scene, in that scene where him and John are talking, they come to accept, or they're able to discuss and accept the fact of themselves that, okay, yeah, I may not be just a Stark, or I may be something else, but I am definitely still a Stark at my heart, because we were both raised by the same person.
Stark at the heart!
And Ned's to blame!
You give the
Oh,
North
I
a
keep
bad
getting
name.
words wrong.
So I know we sped ahead with the Theon stuff. I do have to take a little side trip here because we did miss something big here in our speed ahead. Guys, I got very emotional. I feel like you all know exactly what's about to come. I got pretty emotional tonight in this episode.
What happened?
Wedding bells.
Y'all, I got to see my daughter Lyanna Stark on screen again. And now here's the problem, is I say that really excitedly, but I'm whelmed. At best.
It was
First
quite
off,
well.
that wedding was outdoors in the middle of the day. That's not very sneaky for a dragon prince and some chick he's not supposed to be marrying.
It's in the middle of the woods.
Well, they even roped the High Septon into it, so I don't know how it was a secret in the first place.
To be fair, that High Septon is a piece of fat, stupid fuck. We've heard this.
Fuck you, Septon
Canonically
Maynard.
speaking. Yeah, Maynard
Didn't even pick a different name.
Guys. So, but they're like, and then I don't know if it's in Dorne. I don't know where it is. She's wearing some sleeveless gown with some like embroidery up the neck, and he looks like Viserys, but he's not. And they're all like kiss, kiss, like I'm yours and you're mine, and wrapped around the hands, and then it was over, and that was it. Like it was like a 17-second scene tops, right?
You know, yeah. I thought it was gonna be. I knew that was. I mean, they named the episode after it for one thing. I really thought that it was going to be a much longer scene. I thought it was going to be a sequence, if you will. That, you know, and that's where it goes back to all these other scenes are way too long, but this one was actually way too short. I feel like you didn't feel that they loved each other. They just got married. But it would have been nice. It would have been nice.
And then here's the bigger problem with it for me was then they intercut it, and they did the John parentage reveal via Brienne and Sam and John and Dany banging.
Are you kidding me? That was so amazing.
So here's the deal: is I've slowly been softened to, because like I mean, Daenerys is gonna happen in the books no matter what. I mean, it's literally part of the story. I get that. I don't love it. I hate it. Obviously, I hate the idea of it. But it should probably happen in the story because that's what's being written. It's a Song of Ice and Fire. It's going to happen. They're going to fuck them. They're going to find out they're related. It's going to be weird, nuanced, complex, whatever. But I've been trying to, like, water myself down and say, hey, it's not that bad. It could be okay, whatever. They're both lonely leaders. But in the show, there's nothing built up on that. There's no It's
Yeah.
very forced because there's no, like, semblance of John is lonely and never had a sense of belonging. Dany's lonely. She thinks of the red door all the time in her dreams that she used to live at. Like, there's no semblance of their, like, lonely, like, I don't want to be a leader. I just want to be a child again and be free. I want to be aiming the dragon knight. I want to be back at the red door. Like, there's no semblance of that. It's just like Daenerys is like, if you don't bend to me, I'm going to burn you with my dragons. Jon Snow, let's have sex. And then they're banging, and, like, Jon Snow's butt should be a celebratory cause for me. Like, every time I watch it, I feel like I should be happy about it. But, like, tonight, literally I saw his butt, like, little bubble butt, like, banging on top of his aunt, and I was just like, this is kind of weird and gross, and I'm not interested.
I'm going to hit you with a concept, and you can either, you can either accept it or send it back, give me your feedback.
Okay.
But I think that the scene should have been cut thusly, where Rhaegar and Lyanna are getting married, and then they, move in to kiss each other, and as you're hearing their lips smacking, kissing, then it cuts to a close-up of Jon's balls smacking on the What do you think?
And then there's just Tyrion being a fucking creep outside listening to them bang.
To the balls
He's
smack.
like out there listening to Jon's balls slapping against his aunt. It was incredible.
Beautiful, high quality scene there.
I wish Dorne was out there too, and like they were both just like sitting there with their arms crossed. That would have made it perfect.
I didn't know that I needed this so much.
I think that would have been a way more creative
Amy for
cut.
showrunner. Amy for showrunner. Here's the deal: is a bunch of us were talking, Amy, this week, and I feel like we came to the idea that since I fixed Dorne, I'm probably going to be a showrunner in 2030 when we remake the whole series. Okay?
Hell yeah.
And what I want is you as my fellow showrunner. Do you think you could do that?
Hell yeah, I'll be the choreographer for all of the sex scenes.
Not happy.
Okay, maybe other than that, like, do you
I
think
will
doesn't
definitely
appreciate
coordinate
that
mirror
at all.
swamps for everyone. I will bring that to life.
I'm really into Mirror Swamp, so I'm really glad you went. You know what? This is how I knew I was going to ask you to show run with me. Is the first person who said they wanted to transcribe Mirrorish Swamp to the screen, they were my showrunner. You know what I mean?
That's the golden ticket for show running.
Yeah, you got the golden ticket.
Fuck yeah. I'm here. I'm here for it.
Man, guys, that took me out of it. That sex, like, I get it. It was gonna happen, but like, it completely undermined. I personally am a little bitch, as we know, and so watching Rhaegar and Lyanna like get married, I was like, my daughter's marrying a fuckboy. Right? Like I'm watching and I'm like, this is so beautiful and sad. And then they like undercut it with like aunt nephew fucking.
They were in love.
And like I wanted to like it because they're both pretty people. They are. It has a great.
Turn your brain off and enjoy it.
I tried, but dude, I literally like looked up and I'm drunk as shit, and I'm like, yeah, let's watch this. And then they were banging, and I'm like, oh no, he's all awkward, and she's his aunt. Like,
I just think that the hard cut to the sex wasn't a good choice. I think that they should have shown the scene leading up to them having sex and like talking but at the same time, they're not good at dialogue, and I know this, and maybe that makes it better. But there was no like. If you go back to the Jon and Ygritte sex scene, which they didn't even show the sex for that, but like that scene was hot. It was a hot scene, and like them leading into it, and like it's kind of like dialogue foreplay and stuff. That was a good scene. But with Jon and Daenerys, it's like, oh, by the way, it's incest, and by the way, here they are fucking anyway. Like it just wasn't. There was nothing sexy about it. It didn't feel sexy. Or I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who disagree, but. It's just like this hard cut to them having sex and Tyrion listening. It's so weird.
and dude, then it gets like worse. Like, there's only 2 scenes left, so let's go into this. His name's Aegon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know what more I can say about that. It's fucking ridiculous and very silly, and I don't know.
Even Kevin just laughed about it, and Kevin is a show apologist, and he just laughed and left the screen. Like,
Yeah, that's what I did.
laughing right now. He literally just laughed. Like, Kevin doesn't laugh about shit like that.
No,
Kevin,
it's pretty
stop.
silly. I mean, I'm pretty sure even the show has called Rhaegar's first kid Aegon.
Yes, They
Yep.
have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Oberyn talked at length about it.
Yeah. So like,
Oberyn
what
also
the
talked
fuck?
about his 8 daughters.
Aegon 2, Lightbringer
Yeah, right?
Boogaloo.
So wait, does this mean that they just decided we're like, hey, look, he's just gonna be Aegon the 6th instead of actual Aegon, or is he Aegon the 7th?
Well, that number
would
only
have to be the
counts when you
7th.
talk about the actual kings that have been called Aegon.
Fair.
But he would be Aegon the 2nd because he's the 2nd Aegon in his family too. So he
But
would
from
be
the line of
Aegon
Targaryens,
the
he'd be
2nd.
Targaryen the 2nd.
He'd be Aegon the 2nd, the 6th of his name.
7th.
No, because the
why
6th of
didn't
his
Ned
name in the
just name
sense of
all of
like
his
that's how
kids
many Aegons who have been kings.
Fair.
That's
That
the only one
would
that
have
counts.
better.
What?
Huh?
Why didn't Ned just name all of his kids Rob?
He should have. It would have made everything would have made everything more confusing. They would have won the War of Five Kings. It would have been fun.
He's like, listen, I just really liked Robert. Alright, I needed to name all my kids after you.
How long were you stuck in the Eyrie? How long were you stuck with the Eyrie with him?
few years.
Hmm.
Dude, I don't. Yeah, I guess we all understand the stupidity of naming John Aegon. I really don't feel like I have to go through with it. You guys get it.
Anybody who
guess-
thinks it's good can fucking at me.
At me. She just said it. She said it and I didn't. You guys heard that. She said at me. At her. At disown God. At disown bro.
That is, I don't normally encourage fighting over the internet, but you can fight me on this, because if you don't like
her.
silly, just at me. We'll sort this out.
It's silly. It's silly writing for a silly show with silly ice dragons, and I'm getting quite sick of it.
Hey, that ice dragon was metal as fuck.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a good segue, actually. There's an ice dragon.
I really enjoyed watching Tormund and Beric like standing there like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
It looked like a
But
music
you
video
guys
for like
are missing a
Megadeth or
really
something.
poignant
Yes.
scene.
What?
So like not to get soft.
You already are.
I'm so soft. I am a marshmallow. To be marshmallow-esque, Arya and Sansa had actually a pretty nice scene that brought tears to my eyes, because they were all looking over the ramparts and all like, "You're strong. No, you're strong. You're my big sister. Yeah, but you're annoying and I love you. Yeah, I love you."
Yeah, it was the scene I always wanted.
It was adorable.
It was needed.
It was the
And
scene
I'm
that was
so-
promised.
I'm so soft.
Arya will never get to see Jon.
Shut the
fuck up.
Kevin.
You know it's true, and she'll never see Gendry either.
I'm gonna murder
You're
you.
ruining everything!
Fuck! What is wrong with you?
Why do I
Gendry
put up
just
with
hopped
this?
on a boat and never stopped rowing this time. He
Okay,
will never be seen
for
again.
all the endurance training Gendry went through, can we revisit that he fell on his face last week?
Yeah.
He's
Hell
never
yeah.
seen
You know
snow
what?
before.
You know what? Rowing for a long time and standing at a forge all day totally makes you a fast runner.
Well, duh. Isn't that how everyone gets to be a good runner?
Maybe. What if he was like just running on his hands?
Well, he's probably the fastest remaining person. That's a named character in How to Survive.
Anyways, Gendrick Storm.
Gendrick.
So, he's not here. That's okay. Elena was sad. She was sitting there going, "What am I gonna get off on tonight? I love Gendry.
I can't pep to this.
I can't tap to... I can't...
Whatever, Chloe. You can't even talk. I'm pretty sure they killed off Beric, so you're not gonna be able to get spit roasted.
Listen! First off, I don't think you need to at me about my spit roast Sandor Beric fantasy.
You just
okay?
added me like twice. And you added me last week,
Secondly,
so fuck
if
you.
we're gonna talk about the next scene and my Sandor Beric spit roast, no, you're correct. Apparently, my spit roast will never occur. Thanks, Elena.
Did
Thank you
Beric
so
die?
much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For pointing it out that Beric Dondarrion is probably gonna die because the fucking Night King just burned down the wall with a fucking ice dragon, and it's horse shit. I don't care about Tormund. I hope he dies because Brienne and Jaime is canon, and Brienne is the worst ship in the whole entire universe. So
Whatever.
Yeah, you can at my ass about that too.
at me.
I thought I just did.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm gonna reiterate the thing I said earlier about that scene. It was just really metal, and I enjoyed it.
Same.
That's pretty much all I have to say about it.
The wall falling?
There, like, Lamb of God was blaring, and I was like, yeah.
I want the Selena scene to do the Celine song to the wall coming down.
Wait, like, I would fall in love? Or, like...
My
With the
heart will
bodies
go
to the
on.
floor.
They, the Selena scene people did, they put that song to the last episode when Drogon showed up and was burning all the whites, and it was incredible.
I feel like I saw that in a tweet, but didn't listen to it, so now I have to go back.
It was incredible. You gotta eat up that good content.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually liked the wall falling. I definitely don't think that's how it's gonna happen in the books. If that even matters.
You're on.
Yeah, I think the horns are gonna be involved in that whole shenanigans. But as far as like a show divergence, I think that is not bad. It's really, I can believe that. It's believable that the ice dragon is penetrating that wall, just like John is penetrating now.
Yeah, look at you.
But why do you have to say penetrating?
He stopped.
Because it's the word of the night. But my one question is the rules of the wall's ice magic shit that's going on. Like, because if the others could never breach it, what would make an ice dragon able to bring it down? But I don't know if we'll ever
Ice fire.
Ice fire.
Ice fire.
Like only ice fire could kill ice walls.
Well, I mean, it's probably just like when we saw. Okay, so like maybe just the pure force of it. I mean, straight up, like when we saw Danny's dragon's full-grown first attacking that slaver ship, they sawed that thing in half.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the magic doesn't hold up against the velocity of it. I don't know. I don't know.
It's
what
just
the rules of
ice in
magic
the
are,
end.
even in the books. I don't know. But in the show canon, I can definitely buy it. Like, it doesn't feel like I have to, totally suspend my disbelief to buy it. And it was cool, and finally the others are going beyond the wall, and nice.
Dude, I bet the others are gonna reach Winterfell before everyone got through the King's Road to the Dragon Pit.
You know what they need to do? Instead of a wall, they should have built a moat.
That would have been smart, because then they couldn't cross, because the water don't exist.
Yeah, they can't swim, so bada bing, bada boom. And then pull out Kyron's ballista and just shoot down the ice dragon, and
they're fine.
They're no longer a threat. It's fine.
Yeah, it's normal.
Steal one of the White Walker's spears.
We do have some moments that we have to answer to real fast, since we're at the end of the episode. We have some questiones popping in. Some of these, if you want to comment on any of them, I'm just going to read them off real quick. I've got some really good moments coming in from some fans. Tara, a Geek Saga on Twitter, says that we should talk about how awesome Jaime's character development has been this season.
He actually had some.
You mean in this episode?
Yeah, I was going to say this episode. Again, the snow falling on King's Landing, him looking up, that was good enough. I could pretend
catching one on his tongue, that was beautiful.
Yeah, real sweet. Like, I remember 8th grade.
I've never seen snow before.
Next one, Targ Bull, get hype. Kevin, what do you have to say about that?
Which bull?
Targ Bull.
Targ Bull?
Because there's 2 Targaryens now.
I think we saw Targ Bull tonight.
We all know how Targ Bull is gonna end up.
They got fucked.
Well, once they find out they're related, shit's gonna go down.
Have you ever had a rival you fucked? I guess that makes sense. Anyways.
They're not rivals, though. I mean, there's probably going to be a marriage alliance. Jon already bent the knee, and he's stupid and loyal, so...
Yeah, but as they pointed out in this episode, it makes Jon's claim stronger than Daenerys's, and I think Daenerys is she's like, I'm the breadwinner in this power couple, so yeah. But once she finds out Jon's claim is actually the stronger claim...
She gonna be pissed.
I think she's gonna be a little pissed. And even though she's like, I just want to make the world a better place, she's actually more ambitious than Stannis. Like, she has an entitlement. It's her birthright. And she's like, no, I've been fighting for this literally the whole series, and fuck you, this is mine. So I kind of do think they're gonna butt heads as well as butts.
I I think
Yeah.
I
No?
think I think they will. Well, generally, I don't see John like pursuing that claim. Frankly,
Agreed.
I would think not.
like I think
But-
that'd be so far out of his characterization that even I would start questioning the show.
Which is impressive.
We all know
Well,
I've been
you know,
drinking the Kool-Aid.
He's changed from death. 2 seasons later.
Has he though? Anyways, another comment we have is from one of our buddies, Andrew Dadsky. He wants us to
Andrew.
mention Bran's. Yeah, Andrew. He wants us to mention Bran's selective memory.
He's just tripped. He's like acid fried, basically. He's like, I've seen everything, and then like it's like
He's
it's like
tripped.
it's like when Sansa went up to like it's probably okay. Sorry, another thing. It would have been better if they had a short scene where Sansa went up to Bran to ask about that. But I can just imagine Sansa going up to Bran and be like, "Hey, you can see everything, right?" He's like, "Yeah. Let me do something for you. I'm kind of busy here. You know,
Man.
procrastinating,
Yeah.
watching
I'm
the
not
White
even
Walkers."
gonna comment on it. It
I
was
just-
a fun contrivance. That's all.
It is really tragic to me that Bran has been sidelined so thoroughly ever since season 5, and that he's only been used at the end of the season to kind of confirm all of the bullshit Littlefinger has done, when he could be doing so much more, or to confirm that Rhaegar and Lyanna were together. Like, there's so much more that he could have done to help, but they just didn't use him. He just sat there all season, and it's unfair to me. I hate it.
I agree.
I cry for Bran.
Sad. I am crying.
I am cry, my poor boy.
I just think he's lost all perception of time. You know, he just sits out there like watching, time literally fly by, I guess.
He's literally sitting there high as balls for like the
Yeah.
whole season. He can't really function right now. I would say he's couch locked, but he's in a mobile chair, so he's chair locked, I guess.
I actually laughed out loud, like, when we had that touching Arya and Sansa scene, but then, like, it just cuts to Bran sitting by himself by the weirwood tree. It's like, oh, like, why can't he be part of these, like, tender moments? Oh, yeah, because he doesn't feel things anymore. My poor
Yeah.
boy.
No, I agree. Man, that was a finale though. That was it was something.
Good. It was good.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
It was a final episode of a season.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's our final After Thrones The Hangover episode. That was it. That's what we went off. That was it, gang.
Yep.
I will say it was one of the better episodes of the season as a whole.
Yes.
But I still think the one with the loot train battle was probably the better.
Spoils of War.
Yeah.
That was my fave.
That was
That was a
probably
good
the best one of the season. I would say the Spoils of War was the episode I had the least things to complain about as a whole. Like, it was just the most solid.
I'm eating it
episode,
while
I
you're
think.
throwing all
I
over.
would say.
It was the characterizations mostly made sense, ish, and things made sense. The CGI was great. I mean, everything looked good, so that was
Yeah.
good.
Right.
And I
agree.
still
That was
maintain
good.
that the battle itself was probably the best shot and, like, visually the best battle that we got since probably Blackwater, in my opinion, or the Wall battle. Because I really haven't been much of a fan of them lately. And also, as they said inside the episode, that there were people on both sides you cared about, which was nice.
Yeah.
Even though this whole season nobody really died. Like, nobody important died, really.
Hey,
Agreed.
Thoros is incredibly important. He's the priest of the red shirts.
Yeah, he's the red shirt priest.
Wait, who died? Sorry, I don't remember.
Oh,
Who?
don't worry about it. They'll replace him next episode. Melisandre's
Okay,
Melisandre's still
back.
kicking.
Yeah, Melisandre is his replacement. She's like, I gotta leave until Thoros dies, and they actually need me again.
And she'll die too, so.
Yeah,
Arya will
fine.
kill her.
Yep.
I feel like next season, I mean, this week we're probably gonna chat again and maybe do an After Thrones. Maybe at DragonCon we'll do an After Thrones recording of just like the end and like what we think about next season. But I think they're gonna have to kill a lot of people next season because like this season was.
They have to
Weeks.
make up for this season, I think. Yeah, they're gonna, like, last season they did a ton of board clearing, and then this season they're like, all right, we want to enjoy these characters. And then next season they're like, we're gonna really do some board clearing, and a lot of people are just gonna die.
Hey, some of the sand snakes died. I guess all the sand snakes died.
Thanks.
That's a
Fuck.
major
Yeah.
plot
Yeah.
development right there.
And
That
Ilaria's
was one of
slowly
my
but surely
favorite
dying.
Who?
Ilaria.
Oh,
she
yeah.
should be there a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, is she still alive down there? Like, how long do you think that Cersei keeps her alive to
At least
torture
10
her?
for years.
Yeah.
Like, I
At
want a
least
scene
until
with her
Cersei
next
dies.
season of her just, like, down there going crazy. Maybe I don't, but that's a little bit mean. But
I enjoy it.
Joe
It
Laurie
makes
deserves
me,
it.
like, I feel like they've said she's gonna die, but at the same time, knowing them, I'm like, it makes me feel like they're pulling a gun on it, you know, like, oh, it's there in case we want to have it somehow rise up to help save the day in the Battle of Hogwarts, you know what I mean? Like, okay.
Rude.
She and all the characters who died off screen, quote unquote, are all just gonna show up together, like a band of heroes, like her and the Blackfish and Stannis. They're all just gonna like come riding up. They're like, "Yeah, you thought we were dead, bitch! Surprise!"
Surprise, bitch.
Ride
Bet you
for
thought you'd
ruin.
see the last of me.
And the world's ending.
We got this.
Well, I think that
Well-
wraps things up.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was it. You guys, this has been such a good season. Thank you for being here with me. There's so many more projects to come. I know this is the last technical After Thrones Hangover podcast, but to our viewers that we've garnered so far this season, we are going to be starting a Drunken Egg recorded chapter analysis where I get drunk and we talk about Drunken Egg novellas.
It's gonna be a hell of a thing, guys.
Yeah, different guests will do Dunkin' Egg, only Drunken Egg. There's so much more. I really want to work on the World of Ice and Fireball. That's Dave.
These puns.
No.
What,
Here
Smirnoff
for the
Ice
puns.
with Fireball?
Elena's over there like, don't encourage her. Yeah, Ice and Fireball. I don't know, man. This has been a good season. I want to thank Elena and Kevin, the Bear Aaron ASOIAF puns, for being here most episodes. Amy, thank you for joining us. Disown Got on Twitter, Disown the Throne, also runs D&D Googling, the best satirical site in the whole universe on Twitter. And I'm Chloe, I'm Liza Arbor. Thanks for hanging out with us all season. I hope that you got something out of it. I'm sorry.
Hopefully at least drunk.
Yeah, I hope you guys got drunk. I hope we can get drunk the rest of the fall together, maybe do some more of those crazy polls we do, and tune in for Drunken Egg and the World of Ice and Fireball, you know?
Hopefully we'll see the Defiance of Duskendale.
Yeah, someday we will have Drunk ASOIAF episodes up this fall. Dragon Con we're recording with History of Westeros.
It'll be
and
great.
some other great people. So we will have some episodes up this fall.
We will have some surprises for you for Dragon Con, that's for sure.
We will, because I don't even know what's happening.
It's a surprise!
Stuart, say goodbye. Take us out, Stuart. Lord Tywin, the cat. That's fine. He doesn't have to. Have a great night, you guys.
Have a
Good night,
day.
guys!
Good night.